vision and thrust of the Commissariat Department is going to focus on the likely new world economic, social, and political order. Post-COVID, we have a feeling that quite a lot of things are going to change. For example, even when you want to talk about the life expectancy of people, normally people would want to say in Africa, life expectancy for men is 49 and maybe about 60 or 65 for women. But this has been changed by nature, of course, with the thrust of COVID-19. So I think this is going to affect a lot of things. We know that companies that are supplying anti-COVID materials in America from China and Russia are companies that are on America's list of sanctions. And because we have this pandemic, we have wavered, the world systematically has wavered the existence of the so-imposed sanctions. So this is how things change themselves. And our other view is that post-COVID, people are going to, although there is going to be social distancing, I don't think it is going to end. I think it's going to be part of the culture that people social distance. But I think COVID is going to cause more or greater understanding of people, causing people to come together. That is a convergence of understandings. I think most of these hates, marginalizations and so forth are going to be done away with after COVID-19. And also, our view is that Africa, having sustained a lot of life during this COVID, it is an open secret that Africa is going to be the next investment destination. And it is therefore important for us as a party to be prepared and also make special focus on our people in the diaspora. Obviously, from the records and information that we have, consultations and so forth, most or many of our people in the diaspora want to come back home. And the understanding is that these people have been exposed to a lot of things, and the country can only be happy to have those people placed in strategic economic, social, and political positions, because when people are exposed, they have new knowledge, even in terms of technological development, appreciation, and understanding. They must obviously be placed where they can be useful effectively. So this is what we think is going to happen, and the Commissariat is focusing on that. It needs now to advise, work with government, advising government on how or what strategic measures we can put in place so that the influx of our people that is going to happen, that is going to come, are placed in a strategic position. So you, from the onset, would want now to work on the database. Who are they? What do they know? What do they understand? What do they want to do? And where do they want to do it? In terms of regional or district distributions, you want to understand, and those that can invest, where do they want to invest? What kind of money do they have? What assistance do they want to have? So all these things, government and the party should be very prepared for them. And the other thing that we think is going to change forever is the ICT approach. It is unfortunate that some people seem to be reluctant, but just observing, you can see that the economy or any transaction or any dealing that involves paper is going to be a thing of the past. The economy is going to be digital, everything digital, and it is important also for us as a party to be geared, to be focused, to be ready for whatever is going to be the order of the day, but of course being ahead, because what we've agreed as a party is that our party is supreme to the government. Quite a supreme yekuti kunongonzi chef. Chef should be content. At times we say people do not respect us. People at times don't want to respect empty brains, and it's so we feel with our no kangansa. So it is time that even in leadership, people get prepared. Research is needed if one wants to remain a relevant leader. Otherwise, who knows the person but unengo see one of my events. So it is also my view that even our departments should be focused. I know there are some departments basa Politburo meeting. After the Politburo meeting, they go and so forth. They cannot continue to have that. Every department must be focused, must be working 24/7 and producing not only reports, but also ideas and strategies for their departments. Where should the government go? The economy focus, and so forth and so on. Because we are the party that is in power. We are the party that has said our party is superior to the government. We must be able to advise government. So what you are now looking at is that in the past we used just to want to fill positions where we say, yes, the structure needs 42 people and 42 people are in positions. I think we've got to change that to make sure that relevant people in positions are put in those positions so that they contribute meaningfully to the development of this country and the economy, which is very important. Remember, what the Commissariat has said is that we are no longer going to focus our mobilization on singing at rallies and so forth and so on. No. Our mobilization strategy is going to be project-based. We want our people to be productive. We want this economy to be developed by members of the party. Of course, not excluding other people that are not ZANU PF. But ZANU PF people should be at the forefront. They should show that ZANU PF is serious about productivity, about economic empowerment, about sustaining the lives of our people. And that can only be done if every shoulder of our members is on the wheels. And this is what we are going to focus on. So every secretariat, including those of labor, education, and so forth, have just got to be geared, because this also means that our education system, the way it is going to be conducted, is going to change. Because from the moment that the president announced the lockdown, we were not, if we were prepared, we were not supposed to think how or whether we are going to close schools or not. No, it was just supposed to be switching to the digital, and then lessons and classes continue. But many are just sitting because we had not been prepared. And so the focus really should be about adapting to likely future world order, which is going to be digital. And our people should understand that. Then we, in this endeavor, would want to focus on the youths, empowering the youths, the young people, because they become the future of our existence. They become the future of our country. The women have been known to be trustworthy, hardworking, and previously marginalized. Again, they must be empowered. We also have another group, the group of veterans of the liberation struggle. They must be capacitated, at least at the level that they can. And I'm proud to say to you, most have improved their levels of education and many capacities. So they should not be excluded. We want this phase of the revolution needs people that are committed, people that are honest, people that have got a cause for belonging and contributing. And this commitment has already been shown by the veterans of the struggle from the time that they decided to go and fight for this country. So this is not going to exclude people in the diaspora. The youths, the women, and the returnees have got to be considered, mainly because, one, most of them were not there when this land reform, land redistribution was being done, and also because quite a big number went into the diaspora by misrepresenting issues. They obviously wanted to have sympathy from other countries, and the opposition parties were voting for them to say, yes, these people are under threats and so forth and so forth. They are insecure. And these lies were said and done. But it is now time that reality must reign. And they have been moneyed, some of them. And it is important that the money that they have should be put into production. I'm not saying all of them went that. There are some people that went in a very correct ways. And of course, because of the economic conditions, people would want to look for greener pastures. And that is not an offense. In fact, that is also a form of investing for the country, because they will be bringing their money back. So this is what we are looking at post-COVID. Post-COVID, we think things are going to change, and as a party, we are not going to listen to side shows, these small boys' games that are going on, especially in the MDC, where someone wants to involve the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe to their fracas, their problems that they've created for disobeying the constitution that they wrote themselves. And they want now to bring President Mnangagwa into that. ZANU PF, yes, if it can be offended, let it be offended for bringing independence and freedom and democracy, which has allowed men, small boys and girls to form their own political parties. But from the onset, I want these boys and girls to know that politics is not a kindergarten game. It's not child's play. Politics of ruling a country is just some hard thing to do. And what they are seeing in the MDC is the reality of politics. And they must just sit down and try to settle their problems without involving ZANU PF. ZANU PF does not play the consultant's role for opposition political parties. ZANU PF is focusing on what I've just said. The president is so committed to achieving the vision that is set for this country. This is what is taking the president's time. Surely, the president cannot leave the mandate that the people gave him to lead this country, to make sure that there is food security, there is a job for every Zimbabwean, there is food for every Zimbabwean, there is medication for every Zimbabwean, to focus on MDC politics. What does he get from that? He has contested against MDC and defeated MDC. And why then should he worry himself about MDC? So ZANU PF, I want MDC to know and understand this, is not a consulting organization for opposition political parties. A political party is based on, premised on a constitution. And when they have a constitution, they are duty bound to follow a constitution. And where they err, they don't need to blame people that have no contribution to it. Innocent people. What MDC should do now is to focus on their illegality in leadership. These boys and girls that are talking loudly today should have advised Commissar, because most of them are lawyers. They should have advised Commissar to follow procedure, to follow the constitution in taking over leadership. And from what we know, the Supreme Court did not expel anyone from MDC. The Supreme Court did not choose a leader, even at the interim, for MDC. The Supreme Court only interpreted an MDC constitution and ordered that it must be followed, because it is on the basis on which the MDC is formed, presumably. So they cannot then want to blame us. They cannot then want to blame ZANU PF. Someone saying there are ZANU PF footprints in MDC issues. We've had our own problems. In fact, some of them were not yet born. We went through detent. We went through a lot of changes, a lot of assaults, even by the CIA and so forth. But we stayed on. And hence we are where we are today. But as we speak, we are under sanctions that were brought by MDC. But we have continued to respect them as an opposition party. Personally, I did not know Thokozani Kupe before she was elected in the MDC leadership. I did not know Monzora until I met him in Parliament. I did not know the chairman of the MDC committee. I did not know him. Despite that, he comes from Sanyati, I'm told. And Sanyati is just close to Gokwe. But I did not even know that he comes from that area, because we had nothing in common. But all of a sudden, we are being accused of having taken over those people. We've had our problems. The MDC knows. Takaita nyadze gamma talks, takaita nyadze G40, takaita, you know, a lot of problems. And what we know, MDC has always been supporting those that go against the ZANU PF. And we have never said, why are you doing that? Because we know it is in their rights even to side and associate with whoever they want. And now they cannot accuse us for a Supreme Court decision. We are not the judge panel. ZANU PF, yes, forms government, but government that has got clear 3 separate arms of government. And the judiciary is one of them. The legislature, in which most of these talkative people are, is another part of arm of government. They are in these 2 arms of government, by way of their presence in parliament, by the way of their availability in the legal system of this country. Most of them are practicing lawyers. They talk to the judges. They even have friends in judges and so forth and so on. So it is only in the executive where they are not. And that is because they are not the ruling party. And ZANU PF becomes, in the executive, is the party that won the election, and we are a ruling party. So we cannot be accused for what MDC is failing to do for themselves, because from the onset it was wrong for Nelson Chamisa and his cohorts to unconstitutionally take over leadership of MDC. He was supposed to follow their constitution. As an advocate himself, he was supposed to be able to interpret correctly their constitution, which he failed. Or if he knew what the constitution required, deliberately, to use Komichi's words, raped his own constitution. And that cannot be blamed to ZANU PF. So our president should please be given time to lead this country, to focus on Vision 2030. The threats by these boys that they are warning Mnangagwa, obviously, they want to draw international sympathy and continue to fool their supporters that one big stomached boy can threaten a sitting president. That is unfortunate. And he is not going to have the reply that he wants, because obviously he wants to hear something and then begin to cry louder for international sympathy. Of course, we know that someone is advising him to make those statements, and our president is not going to have time for those little side shows. If he threatens to cause mayhem, as they say, it is not the president that is going to respond. It is the system of government that is going to respond. So whatever mayhem is trying to cause, it is going to have equal repulsion. And MDC, being, according to what they want to refer to themselves as, Movement for Democratic Change, if the means of democracy in MDC allow them to destabilize government, then government is going to work towards that and make sure that it is not destabilized. You cannot attack a sitting president and expect to see us watching. No, we will not. I'm not legally qualified to think that already an offense has been committed. In my layman's view, an offense has not yet been committed by him, but let him commit that offense and see what follows. So you cannot mismanage your party. And when there is a correct interpretation of what you did from a competitive court, then you want to blame that on the president, who is not even part of the judge panel, who has not even commented on what was going on in the MDC. The person that petitioned in the initial phase, they all agreed that he was an MDC person, not in any way related to ZANU PF or the president. And when this was heard, there was no ZANU PF present even in the courtroom to hear. And a judgment was passed by the High Court saying that the way Chamisa had taken over leadership of MDC was wrong. And it was within their constitutional and democratic rights to appeal against the High Court judgment, which was not done by ZANU PF. They were not even advised by the president to do that. And those interested hired their lawyers. We saw Vanamaduku and others in the courts. And this all along, MDC yakamira yega, Vanamaduku wakamira vega, but it tikazodzwa utaiwa kana zviri zvemutemo representation, any lawyer approach can be engaged. And this is what happened. Vana Tokozani Kupe engaged Maduku. They were free. They engaged their usual guy. Despite that, they've been losing heavily with him. We were not Tawanu. We pitu. They are pitinura all the time. Wachingorowa, vakapita vakadero. And avadukutaura nevanhu vavo vepiti kuti hamusi kuti advisor zvakanaka. Vakuda kuuya kwatiri manje. Isu kuti tichipinda kumahumbwe. We are above mahumbwe ourselves. Hatichaiti zvemahumbwe, tiri kutonga kaizvizvo. Hatisi vaya vari kuda kutonga, vasina kumbogara vakatonga. Isu takatongouya from 1980 tichitonga, tikatonga, zvino tiri kutonga. Hatisati tatombobuda ziya rekutanga pakutonga. Ticharamba tichitonga. Ava vachiita izvozvo zvemahumbwe zvavo vari paside. Dai vanga vari vanhu vanoziva kuti pakaita election vanowina. Vaenda vonogadzirisana, vodzoka, focus on the campaign. Yes, no, they are saying they want to withdraw their members. Why do they tell us? Tinei nazvo isusu kuti vanokwanenge vavata nenzara. Isu tovatisa vedu nenzara nemhaka yekuti you have decided kuti vana vako vavate nenzara. If their party is Chamisa, And when they feel kuti Chamisa kana abisiwa ne Supreme Court, vese vanofanira kuenda kunovata, ngavaindi, isitosara tichifamba nenyika. We are not even worried and concerned. And we even have no reason to know that they are going to withdraw their members. Kana paita vacant post, sedzaitika dzimwe 4 idzi. Isu machine yetu ground. We want to take those seats. And I think ivo vanhu vemuma constituency yaya vakuona kuti they want serious representation. Avarambi vachita zvemahombwe. Nhasi mavhotera munhu anodzoswa nemhaka yekuti scope donoro, manotora mwe scope donoro muisa futi. Saka zviri kwamuri vanenge vachizvipedzera nguva. Kana vachida seriousness and business, they are now going to vote ZANU PF. And we are already on the ground, for your own information, persuading them, the voters, to vote ZANU PF, because ZANU PF is a part of purpose, is a part of the people. It is the party that represents not only the people of ZANU PF, but the people of Zimbabwe. It is the party that represents the interests of the black people, yes, with the whites that choose to be within Zimbabwe, of this country. And we are concerned about the interests of our people, the rights of our people. Right away, I have not heard of a statement from MDC sympathizing with people in the diaspora. They don't even have knowledge of the fact that our people are suffering in the diaspora, most of whom they assisted to go there. They don't care, because yavo ndeyekuti chinhu changu chakabiwa, chinhu changu chakabiwa. Zvino zvawachitorerwa iwa unoita zvokubirwa right, wachitorerwa neSupreme Court, ndava wakabira Thokozani, tokuti kudii, mubiri wemubiri. Matavire akamboimba akati munhu anovhunduka dzinyu akatosungira nyoka muchiuno iyeye. You have seen it. All of us have seen it. Hey, illegitimate, illegitimate. Illegitimacy comes from an illegitimate person. He knew illegitimacy because he knew himself was illegitimate. This is why he was talking about illegitimacy. And now it has come on him in reality that is illegitimate. And they don't want to talk about that. They want to accuse ZANU PF. They have been accusing us. From the day the elections were announced, the 2018 elections were announced, but we did not focus on them. We let them say what they wanted, and they want to continue. No, they must give us a break and let us run this country. Of course, we are not going to be disturbed by them. Let them keep donating these seats. If they decide to resign en masse, which is not going to happen anyway, because the person who is speaking for most of MDC MPs is not MDC himself. So we have not had MDC MPs speaking because they have not spoken. So we are not going to be worried by an alliance partner who wants relevance. He wants to stick on to the MDC tag when we all know that he resigned and formed his political party. And he came to the alliance with his party. This is why even I think the acting president of the MDC, Thokozani Kupe, and his leadership cannot recall him because he's not part of them. And this is the legal position that Tendai Biti, Sikala, and others are not MDC people. They are members of the alliance. They have got their chunk because they brought what they had into the MDC, and they were elected as members of their party in the alliance. And they must worry about the parties that they formed, not not speak on behalf of MDC, because they ceased to be MDC long ago. So, what then do we expect going forward? We think that sense of reason is going to come into MDC leadership. They please sort out their problems and make a way forward. We enjoy having them as the opposition. We don't wish them dead. But if they drink poison, who are we to save them when they want to die? We'll let them die, because obviously it will be some problems. So, but as mature ourselves in politics, we want to let them know that what they are seeing are real political problems. And they don't become the first party to have such challenges. We had similar problems to the extent that we removed the person that was the head of our party because we realized things were not well. But we did not accuse them for maybe the mismanagement. You know that some of us had been expelled by the last dispensation for no reason. Whilst all this was happening, we never decided or chose to blame the opposition party. We solved our problems the best way we thought we could, and we are very sure that we have solved our problems. But we still have people talking. Vana Jonathan vanoswera vachitaura, vana Kasukwere vanotaura, vana Joao vanotaura, and so forth and so on. Tatine vafana vamwe vekumasingwa vana uyu akambofomawo chipati chake takaona akuresigna taizviona zuro Muzembi. We have them. They are our children. And we don't want to say when we have these problems, we attribute them to MDC. No. We have our child problems, children with problems. And we must solve those problems. Just recently, Takaita Nyadzana Tsenengam and so forth and so on. We never invited MDC. And we never apportioned blame to MDC for what was happening. Although we know, obviously, they were interested. But we solved and continue to solve our problems. And this is what national politics is all about. It is about facing challenges, trying to resolve them, some succeeding, and some you fail. But you don't want to shift focus to your opposition. Kana vataura kuti vaMnangagwa ne ZANU PF ndo vari kurana MDC. What they are saying is that they are confirming that the president is popular, that ZANU PF is popular, that ZANU PF and President Mnangagwa sets the pace. Kwa hiyo ngavachiteverawo kakuri kuinda vamwe vavo. Kana vatipa isu tingarambe hedu kupiwa vanhu. Why would a party with an ideology, with a direction, be lured by their opposition party? Because we are their opposition. Why would then all of a sudden they say we are running their party, we are controlling them? Mnangagwa and ZANU PF wants to destroy MDC by what means? Can they tell us? Ivo vakanya matope avo chitunha chiri mumba hachisati chavigwa, vamanya vajambira pazvinzvimbo, vapisira mukadzi uyu mumba motondo watozotadziswa nemvura yainaya. Vane mhosva. I don't know why Tokozani Kupe did not report this. Kutungidza imba you know, my video aripo, people can be arrested today. Matax avo vanoti vanguard iyoyo varipo, zviripo zviri pachena. Vamanya vanotora vaita zvinhu ngava challenge ka decision nekukota mutemo kwete kuti Mnangagwa kweZANU PF. Kana chamisa ivo vachiti chamisa ari legitimate. And iye nhasi vakuti isusu we are Mdc Alliance, we are not MDCT. Why did they appeal? Akanga vaudza kuti ndiwo ndiani. Vakaregere kuti izvi zvatisi mazviri isusu hatina. Can they show us a constitution yakanzi Mdc Alliance? Ngavatiratidzeka. What we know is MDCT has got its constitution. Ava vana biti vane constitution dzavo, vana Scala vane constitution dzavo. What they have for alliance is a memorandum of understanding. And can they take that for a constitution? Okay, when they went to Congress, vakaipire zita rekuti Congress yechingani iyo iri yekutanga paformation yeparty. Vakaregera kuti the Congress they held in Gweru was an inaugural Congress. If they were not MDCT, if it was not an MDCT Congress. So, avatibati kumeso, this is not student activism, dzavaita dzekuwetera mabhodho. Adzisidzo idzi. It's real politics. They cannot fool us. They cannot lie to the world. They cannot continue to lie. Even though again they want to appeal against a judgment, because they felt that was otherwise their challenge was supposed to be avazizivi, because you vangonzwa zita ravo rotaurwa avazivi, but no, vakachallenge nyaya ye-legitimacy of the presidency, and they lost again. They did not challenge nyaya yekuti ivo vane party yavo, because vaifana kuenda kane constitution ukoti vachinoita pekuti constitution yedu ye-Mdc Alliance which makes us a party is this one. Ava hativazivisa hatina chi. So they cannot lie, and it is up also to their membership to understand that they cannot be led by liars all the time, because they will keep being disappointed. Pasina chokwadi apambo simbi nemhaka yekuti at one point nhema dzinobuda pachena, ende ndo zvaitika. Iye zvino pane vamwe vari kutoteverawo vari kufunga kuti zvakakanganiswa because vana mai vangu nana baba vangu kuverenga tete tisingadi hedu, tisingagoni, saka tirongoti zvataurwa nevakuru ndizvo. Kana kweduwo tiri avo vanhu vanotaura kuti hatiri kutevera vadhara. Saka tovunza kuti zvino kana wave ne60 years usati wave mudhara uchazodharikawo rini? So ndo nyaya yacho. There are some very, you know, handida hangu kushandisa varanda ndauda kushandisa, but I would say those people are ignorant, who just follow for the sake of following. You have your problems, you don't want to face them. Kuti ma problems there, ngatigare pasi solve. You begin now, hey Mnangagwa, hey ZANU PF, tadi vana vamunhu taita sei? Soro vaichina dzenyu dzamakakanya madhaka enyoko. Isu kana taita zvedu tinogadzira tega. So our president is not going to be distracted from what he's supposed to do. Iye zvino kune nyaya dzeCovid, tine nyaya dzema-sanctions, tine nyaya dzekuti after COVID tiroda kuona production ichisimuka, tiroda kuona all of our people, our sectors being engaged in production, and the president is seized with that. Tirikuda kuti isusu vision yedu ye 2030 isakanganisiwe nespell yataita tisiri kushandai. We should compensate for the time lost. This is what we are focusing on. So we are asking every Zimbabwean, kana panzi taakudzokera kubasa, all of us should go and work, should go and produce. Vanhu vedu tinoda zvakare kuti vazive kuti kana mukaita a vegetable garden, you are creating an industry, because at the end of it Zopesera zvato, we're in a big industry, in a big firm, to the extent that zvimetogona kuto exporta. Asi zvabva kuka small garden, kari kugokwe, kari kumvurwi, kari kupi. So we want our members, we want the people of this country to be productive. Every family should be able to produce what sustains them and leave something for sale. Those are to focus on. And this is how we are going to achieve our vision 2030. Trikutarisa zvakare to resuscitate or revitalize our organs dzekushanda nemadzishe nemadzimambo nemasabhuku mavidiko mawadiko, they should be active so that vanhu vedu vanobetserana, vasina mombe nevane mombe vachibetserana kurima zvifamba zvakadaro, and hoping kuti mvura inonaya. But already government is in a process of sinking bores, building wells and so forth, so that atingomiriri mvura inobva kudenga. This is what we are looking at. Izvozvi president nema vice avo vari kuemphasize on winter wheat cropping. We want to have enough wheat for sustenance to feed our nation. Tiri kuda winter crops, at least even at domestic level, kuti vanhu vakwanise kuita chavanokohwa chinoita kuti chicontribute pasustainability yemusha wedu kana kuti yedunhu redu nenyika yedu saizvozvo. This is what we are focusing on. We are not focusing on opposition party politics. Dzinotipei idzo dzagara dziri destructive kwatiri. We don't have time for that. So let them know that ZANU PF politics is not about superintending over opposition political parties. No. ZANU PF politics is focusing on productivity, sustainability, and so forth and so on. We are focusing on Vision 2030. Asi, kana, like I've said, va create avo ma vacant posts, we will gladly take them. And we are oiling the machine. Zekuti yanzi kuwadzana north nekumwe kwese ukudanga mvura chikanga tonosangana ikoko. Kana va resign in mass, isusu kati we are also taking these as our test cases. Tiri kuda kuona popularity yedu. Saka tikatogara kusina by elections tingatozokanga mo tiri mugame. Saka vakativhurira akawanda kudero. What I can tell them is that whether they are going to come back as chinyi, avalume. Saka ngavazive kuti kana va resigner, they will have donated my seats. Saka isu kana tapiwe hedu tingarambiri kutora. Totora. And tatora na nyika yedu tofamba. Saka isusu atira mwiri munda makudoka kuti makudo anenge zvaane zvaruta tototi nesuwo torama haiwa isu tinonodzinga makudo kana tokavira chimwe chibage. Saka masitsi atakatatorerwa totoenda tonoatora toisa kumusha tosevha vanhu vedu. Zvino vanhu vedu vari kusafa munana zvitungwiza imomo, masiweji ari kuyerera everywhere, and mune ma-MP ari kukwera achita noise who are not attending to ma-problems evanhu. Vanhu vari kushaya even pekutengesera miriwo, and MP vachingoita ruzha noise kubva zuva richibuda kusvika ravira, and vachitodada nekuti kwai ndakasungwa kakawanda. Kusungwa kurima uchisungirwe, vakasungwa zvine rekodi ndivakasunungirwa kusunungura nyika inei, kwete kusungirwa undururani wonowetera mupoto wodada ndasungwa wawachida kuitwa se. kana usingazivi mutsauko wetoireti nepoto uoda kuti tikurege ndokusunga. So ndo nyaya ndinokutendai macomrades. Issue we are gearing for the by-elections. We are gearing for a world new economic, social and political order. We want to meet the challenges, and as the commissariat, we want, and I've said it even in the Politburo that I'm happy about the developments, for example, in the Department of Information. There is life now. There is life, and we hope that continues. And not only that, we want all departments to be visible. Zviya zvekunyarana tichiti hakune vanhu vakuru hatingatauri kuti mudhara muri kuvata pabasa. Vamwe vadhara vanga vakotsera pabasa takavati vaende kumusha kwazvimbo. Saka kuZANU PF leadership hakusi kwekuzozororera. Munoenda munogara kumabhenji ekunze vanoshanda voshanda. So everyone should be working, and this we are going to emphasize and re-emphasize. And I know the president vantoyone matambudziko akawanda maererano nesu, but then I want a situation where the president wakaona kuti Matemedanda is not working. Let Matemedanda go. And Matemedanda hafaniri kutsamwira ndabvisirwei. No, vanofanira kuti vapiwa chance. I like the relationship yandinayo na Brigadier General, I mean Major Lieutenant General Rugeje. People may not want to remember that when General Rugeje became Commissar, he replaced me, and that did not affect our comradeship and our friendship. And when I came in, this time I replaced the Major General, I mean Lieutenant General Rugeje, and that has not affected our friendship. And this is the type of working relationship we would encourage. Kuti munhu kana akanze apa ngapambopinda nhenga apa, your duty is to support that one, kwete kuti hey ndakatorerwa ndakaita sei. This is not what we do. Iswamu kudai background yechisoja hangu handizivi. Saka really you would see nedzimwe nguva kuti president vane nhamo nesome of us. Unotoona umwe achitoti pakadzi pari kuitwa report yecommissariat kana kuti yesecurity kana kuti information kana kuti kugadzirira kucriticize, when for the past 5 years haasati amboisa report about this department. Uri department rekudenga risina report kana usina kuiswawo paagenda kokumbokumbirawo kuti chef ndokumbirawo kuti next Politburo ndizoisawo report yangu. Pagere vanhu but kuti some philosophizing for nothing, taura chirungu chisina basa but musingashandi. No, we want people who work. Talk about your department. Don't worry about other people's departments. Yes, we must supervise each other. See, there is no department that is qualified to be sleeping at work. So we want to see, and we are going to make a lot of noise. It's a commissariat. Because people should work. Hakonangoti vamwe vanouya kubasa musi wePolitburo kana kuti akafunga kufona anoda free phone ndopanouya kubasa. We cannot tolerate that. People should come to work for work, so that together we produce a result. Haikona kuti tinovara department yakati yaburitsa maresults akati. We must produce results as a party, not as a government, as a department. No. If the Department of Information does a good job, we must own it, all of us, because we'll have contribution in it. Ekoti mwanenda kunovata, toenda tono campaign. Apa warukanda maspanas, umwanota zvakati, umwanota zvakati, they don't support. No. Izo ticha expose zvese. Expose. Even people who, I know there are some people who are saying, we want to toda kumukaurisa Matemedanda, ari kuzviita chichi. Ukandikaurisa autori chipo changu. People should know kuti some people are talented pane zvimwe. Pane vamwe vane matalents ekuita noises vave kuMDC. Isu vamwe tine zvipowo zvedu. vamwe vane zvipo zvavo, ukandikanya whether ndabviswa whether ndaitwa sei, asi chipo changu hautori. Saka zvitori nani kana chipo changu chichibetsera musangano to support me so that together my contribution. Isisu tina chairman wedu ku veterans vamutsvango, kana pakangoita vanhu vanoda kutaura chirungu chinoshamisa tisi tonotsvaka mutsvango, because toziva kuti hapana anomboya achimukurira, and we are proud of that, kuti tine munhu wedu hatiti isisi tonovhiringidza totomira kuti okay ava vanoda kuonererwa rega tivatoreri wedu, toya toti comrade imbo havanhu vaya voudza vana quiver nana quivius isitoziva kuti right wedu ndo zvaanogona izvozvo. So this is what we want as a party. Let us support each other, kwete kuti vanhu vakaona munhu achiisa effort vanotogara pasi kutomwa tea vari muofisi yeZANU PF kuti ngatimuwisirei pasi. What do you gain from that? We don't want that, and we are going to expose that. Those expose, because we will be our own enemies kana tikarega kuita izvozvo. How do you have at my level ndichisumuka kuenda kunoita makuwa about mwana ari kudistrict? How do you build that party kana uchifunga kuti wewe unoda kunoita makuwa? We cannot have that. So we'll straighten up everything, and nemikana iri kuramba ichivhurika iyi tinofunga kuti ZANU PF will remain dominant, and our focus, like we have said, is that 5 million votes minimum for the president, so that a clear dominance message is sent to the world. And we are very capable of doing this. If we support each other, all departments that should support us, if they do that, we can surpass that figure by a very wide margin. We can surpass, because the reaction of people is that they've understood that it is only ZANU PF that can be there and is there for them. Tatenda.